This journey was never about just helping one hero. We've had some generous donors and some other foundations really step up to partner and rally with us. You do get a 75% scholarship for your courage of sharing your story. That we're also going to start a campaign to get you to 100%. And so our goal is to leave no hero behind and to get all of you funded by the end of the year. Sean, thank you for joining us. I'm Christina Mangino, CEO of Miracle Hope, and we would just really love to know more. You were just courageous enough to share your story, rally your community, and share it with so many others. So if you wouldn't mind, tell us your name and a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. My name is Sean Cohn. I will be 52 years old next month. I'm a veteran from the 90s. I joined in the early 90s. Didn't even finish high school yet. I was one of the ones that did the split option program. I wanted to be one of the first ones in my community to do that, and I was. Got out also back in the 90s and then continued to work for Department of Defense for about another 10 years as a DoD civilian. I was a contractor in the Middle East also for a couple of years. Over the years, I've dealt with, certain things from my military service. My back is an absolute train wreck. Broken discs, degenerated discs, all that good stuff. Been dealing with all that for about 30 years. But about a year and a half ago, I was going through some significant stress in my life, and I got sick right at the same time, which apparently turned out to be the perfect storm for what I have with PHN, post-herpetic neuralgia. I didn't know anything about this. Didn't even know I'd ever had chickenpox, to be honest with you. But for the most part, my symptoms presented as normal. And it's an absolute disease. It's basically permanent shingles. If you know anybody that's ever suffered from shingles, they'll tell you it's absolutely awful. With me, it didn't go away after 2 weeks like it usually does with people. I'm about a year and a half deep with it now, and it affects every aspect. Is hard. Just from trying to get a full night's sleep. Wakes me up at 3 a.m. with the pain. The medications don't really, I say they don't do much, but I would be an absolute train wreck without them. I'd be in the fetal position all day without the Lyrica, honestly. But it still doesn't really help me. Quality of life issues. The pain is spread into my thighs, which makes it so hard to walk. I may not look my age, but I definitely do when you see me walk. I look like I'm about 100 years old right now. And it's just greatly affected everything that I do. There's nothing that this doesn't touch. And it makes me feel like I'm on fire 24 hours a day. It never goes away. And that's literal. Like I was telling a friend of mine, like just getting out of the shower and trying to dry off and just pat dry. And it literally feels like my skin is coming off in the towel. It's ludicrous how bad the pain is. Most people can't even wrap their heads around what this is like. And there's just so little information out there. Even the neurologists just kind of shake their head and just throw more medication. They don't really have any answers for me. And I'm in some PHN support groups on Facebook and whatnot, and I tell you, those places are devastatingly depressing. Some of these people have it far worse than I do. I don't have a lot of the scarring and whatnot from blisters, but a lot of these people, some of them have lost their eyesight because of it. It's just a disease that nobody knows about, and the doctors don't have any answers for, and it's really, really discouraging. And it's the leading cause of suicide amongst the elderly. People don't know that. Go ahead.
Wow. And is the disease, what is the, or do they know, like, what's the root of the disease? Is it a nerve? Is it neurological? Because you said neurologist. So what's the root of the?
It has attacked one, probably two of my nerve roots, my dorsal nerve root, and it has damaged them. irreversibly from have available here in the US, obviously. But it's destroyed nerve root in my spine. And it's crazy because the pain goes from the spine, but wraps all the way around my body, down through my legs. And it's horrible.
And what inspired you to enter the Hope for Heroes Challenge and share your story?
I am a big UFC, in particular Dom, big fan of Dominic Cruz, always have been. I love his commentary, plus his crew. He's a great commentator. I call him the professor. And, I had seen something on this stuff a few years ago, but it kind of left my mind until my wife brought it back to my attention not too long ago, and I was like, "Oh man, I remember hearing about this." And I remember some of the UFC veterans going down there to get some treatment in, and she's like, "Hey, let's put in for this." And I got to be honest, I'm kind of prideful, and I don't like attention being focused on me really. So it was kind of a hard decision. I don't like to reach out like that. But my wife convinced me, she's definitely my better half and the more sensible half of me for sure. And so we figured, why not? Let's go for it and just see what happens.
How does it feel to see the outpouring of support from your family, your friends, and your community?
It's very humbling. Man, it just, to come in third, I didn't really see that happening. They were so supportive of me, and some of them see me on a day-to-day basis, and they understand. Yes, this is very special. To even just come in third place.
Definitely, the beauty was when because for you've given and given and given. You spent many years giving yourself in service. So it is sometimes you're not used to receiving, but it is beautiful to see the rallying behind you to support you. And what has been the biggest challenge you faced since your injury and your time in service, and what has kept you going?
Oh, just like I said, everything, absolutely everything is a struggle, and just like I said, drying off, getting out of the shower, to trying to find a comfortable spot in bed or on the couch. Never dealt with anything quite like this. I've passed probably 30 kidney stones in my life, and I would go back to passing kidney stones over this. It affects every single aspect. Like I said, there's no part of my life that this does not negatively impact, from just walking around my property, and it's caused me to lose a lot of muscle. I've lost a lot of weight. My stability's gone. My balance is terrible, and the meds don't help with that either. Yeah, there's no part of my life that this doesn't greatly impact me in a negative way.
And when you think of the hope of healing with stem cell therapy, what are you looking most forward to?
Oh, just, I see this as my last chance at a normal life. Obviously, I want to get the injections, in the spine, targeted at the particular affected nerve roots. But also I'm very much looking forward to the IV treatment, because it's not just this that I have issues with. And let's say, this got cured, and don't get me wrong, that would make me the happiest man in the world to get the PHN cured. But I have a lot of other issues too that I'm hoping can be can help me out, like my back. I've busted this body up in its 50-something years, and I'm looking at the science behind this. I study it. My wife and I study all these things, every possible treatment, and it makes the most sense. It's not even close. When you look at the science behind it, and a lot of people see it. You see it true.
Yeah, I'm very grateful that I took the chance 4.5 years ago with my herniated disc, and today I have no herniation at all.
Yeah, I'm very. That's something that really excites me.
And when you think of others still fighting the battle toward healing, is there anything you'd like to share with them of those who voted for you, and just anybody else still fighting the battle?
Yeah, absolutely. To everybody that supported me, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Most of you will never know what it means to me. Most of you don't see my struggles, but I promise you, this is definitely one of the biggest points of my pain is undescribed. And I'm just very much looking forward to getting down there, however it takes. And for those of my fellow veterans on this, man, I swear every last single one of you, and then some, everyone in my PHN groups, I put this information out that I know that are going through the same or similar or something, because we don't have to suffer. We don't have to be in constant pain that not only affects us, but our families, our friends, just everyone around us. And my hope is that every veteran can eventually get this kind of treatment if they need it.
We do too. So Sean, on behalf of Miracle Foundation, sorry, I'm getting a little emotional with your story, but on behalf of Miracle Foundation, we really are grateful. And of course, this journey was never about just helping one hero. We've had some generous donors and some other foundations really step up to partner and rally with us. You do get a 75% scholarship for your courage of sharing your story. That we're also going to start a campaign to get you to 100%. And so our goal is to leave no hero behind and to get all of you funded by the end of the year. So that you can get your this life-giving treatment. And to that, sorry, is that your wife?
Yeah.
Have been really inspired by all of your stories. Yours specifically really did touch us. And so we want to make sure that, our goal is by the end of the year, we hope our community will continue to rally behind us and get you from 75 to 100 as soon as possible. But we will continue to work with you until we get you to 100. But we just wanted to tell you that we really do appreciate your bravery and your courage, because we know not sharing your story.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. Yesterday was such an emotional roller coaster, and I just at the end of the day had to trust that you guys were out there hustling and hitting the ground and just doing everything you needed to do to get not only myself, but other people on the list help with this. And I appreciate you all more than you'll ever understand. And I know you guys work in this field and you probably hear that a lot, but this is a little different. And I think, everybody thinks their illness is a little different, but this is, just sharing this or any other future promos you guys would want me to do for the company, I would be more than happy to do it, especially for the VA and especially for people with my condition or something similar. But I thank you guys so much. I'm out of words.
You're very welcome. And yours is a little different. We've had a few autoimmune ones that are like yours, where it's a little different beast, it's not just I'm in pain and I can't get up, but it's affecting every part of my body and my being. Not a lot of education on them yet. We know they are, that's the harder part, is there's not like a bunch of things you can go read to say, here's what it is and here's how you go and doing that. So let the community know what you guys are going through. Let them know, because no one has answers of why you, or what were you exposed to. We do want to thank you for going on this journey, and we look forward to continuing to help you on this journey together.
Thank you guys so much. Nothing but love to all of you. And yeah, I'm excited.